Welcome back to another figure review. In this review, we're going to take a look at the new Vintage Collection Star Wars Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight. Here is the card. The top left, you have this is ages 4 and above. The top right has the choking hazard warnings. Top center, we have Star Wars Return of the Jedi logo, and just below that, we have Star Wars nameplate Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight. Here on the left, we have the figure in the bubble with his accessories. And on the bottom here, we have the Kenner logo. And in the background on the right, we have Luke with his blaster in Jabba's palace. Nice looking card. Pretty good card art. The back of the figure we have, this is VC175 here on the top right. Other figures available currently in the last 2 waves. Vintage logo here. A bunch of legal information in different languages. UPC at the bottom. DC, Disney, and Hasbro logos. When I first noticed this figure, I really can appreciate his standing ability. What I mean by that is how he looks. I mean, you can get his arms straight down to his side. His leg looks like he's like a soldier in a package. Really nice. It's gonna be interesting to see what his articulation's like. He has a green lightsaber. He has a 3-tone on his handle. He has some copper, black, and silver, and a blaster to match the same color pattern, except for the this black. Yeah, there's no just silver. Yeah, yep, exactly right. Matches his lightsaber. It's nice. Trying to look around the camera and take a look at that blaster. That's pretty cool. Very nicely painted. Alright, let's take a look at him outside the package. Okay, in here you get this insert that they've been sticking on the new vintage figure. Let's see when the G.I. Joes too. It's just Eagle stuff, many different languages, nothing collectible. Just another piece of trash. There he is. And there seems to be no ties or zip ties or tape or on the figure itself, or rubber bands I should say. Push these little pieces of plastic inward to pop out Luke. What was nice about this is his cape wasn't, usually sometimes you buy figures, the cape's pushed through the back and it gets caught. And that is not the case. It's just folded inside. Now with lightsabers, I recommend you don't try to just pull them out, because you can bend them. You just take something to cut, take the time to cut the tape. And the way the materials anymore, even the guns are getting so thin. Just be careful you don't cut your weapons. And I'm not a big fan of tape on my weapons because it could take off the paint or cause a residue. As you can see there, there's a little bit of silver paint on there. You can see that or not. But it didn't remove all the paint off the gun. Looks good. So pull that out of there. So here's his lightsaber. The blade is not removable from the handle. It is all one piece. We have some silver at the top, followed by some gold, then some black. Silver at the bottom half with a silver trigger. I'm sorry, a copper trigger. Having a bad day today. And as always, if you're using your knives, keep the case on it so you don't get cut. Here's his blaster. It's like it looks like it's been molded in black with like maybe a silver wash over it. Done some silver on his right here on the body of the gun, and that copper color on the handle. And here is Luke Skywalker. Let's get the camera to focus. It's a nice head sculpt. It's a really nice head sculpt. He has really detail with the flop of hair that Luke has when he was younger. All that, it kind of looks like flaps. Eyes are painted. He has a brown cloth cloak or robe, what do you prefer to call it. He's done mostly in black, except for the inner robes here is done in a gray. And this is very easy to remove. Just pull over his head. This brown cloak. And here is that Luke that looks like a soldier. It gives it an appearance as he's more on a thinner side than some of the other characters. Like for example, here's Hondo. He looks very thin, looks like he needs to eat. But still a nice sculpt. Head's on a ball joint, goes all the way around. Shoulders go up that far. There are ball jointed shoulders, so he will do 360. He has bendable elbows, which are stiff. Just be careful with your joints. As hard as sometimes these things are come by in a retail store. And if you're interested, I found this at Walmart. There was just one on the shelf with a Chew It In Way, I believe it was. And that was it. It's very hard to come by in the store, to walk in the store and pick up figures anymore. His wrist here has a joint in it. It goes down and up. This hand has a joint in it. These are actually it goes down and up. Those actually are softer and more what you would want from a figure versus this Hondo. I can't bend that joint. It's just like it's going to break. So that's noteworthy for you guys. I do a review for Hondo if you're interested in. Take a look at that. He has, he gets you about 90 degrees on the end of both ends. This hand, he has his trigger finger out. Not sure how that's going to look with his lightsaber, but take a look at that shortly. No chest articulation. He has a waist swivel, and that's it. No crunch. No ab crunch. There is some soft goods here underneath here on the side of his robe or shirt, whatever you want to call it. And he has some articulation in his legs. But it's going to be very hard to get to because of the upper shirt, robe, whatever you want to call it. So, he does not have a thigh swivel. It looks like he just has a joint here. So if you try spinning the leg, maybe. Yeah, it's not very good. But because of the sculpt work, the leg pushes him out to a split position. So it doesn't look like he's going to sit very well. Let's see here. He does have bendable knees. Get you that much. It's better than the Hondo Anaka figure that was also in this wave. his feet are on a swivel. Say we'll do 360, and it has some shiny paint. It looks like there might be a joint there, but it's definitely a joint there. But I'm not going to force it. So you may be able to do pivot his foot down. At this point, I bet you that black gloss paint is clogging up that joint. So I'll let you decide what you want to do with that when you buy yours. Hands are pretty soft. Fingers are pretty soft, so it shouldn't break off if you're... Yeah, well, this has gotten real nice. The hole is actually big enough for his trigger for finger to go in pretty nice. And of course, it goes down to his side. That's the best part of this figure I like is how well you can get his arms down. Yeah, see that joint, you're going to definitely take a look at that joint. Because it's going to hinder, there you go, he does stand without bending in that joint if it is there. I think it's there. It looks like it. So it looks like this may be more of a lightsaber hand here. He can hold his lightsaber just fine. It's nice and snug. It's not loose. Nice sculpt here. There's wrinkles in his upper shirt. Let's take a look with his hood, see how well his hood works. So we pull this back down over his head. One of the issues in the past with these robes is how well these cloaks or the hoodie part works, and that works pretty nice. I'm really liking that. I mean, when I put that on, that pretty much went in position. You had it folded down over his head here, and you have your expected bulges on both sides, and they were right under his chin. Now, if that was luck, that's some pretty good luck, but it looks perfect. A little bit of fray around the top of the edges where they cut it, but it could look as a worn out type of a look, but nice. Here's a side view with his cloak on, or his robe, cloak, whatever you want to call it. Looks really good. I like this figure. Very nice. Now, obviously, there is some, it's not perfect, but for comparison, here is Hondo Naka. Here is a Chewit Imwe. He's still taller than Chewit. And I think a Hondo is just a hair taller than him, but fits pretty nice. Yeah, if you're interested, here is Commander Wolf. Even though it's from a different time area, but looks good. And here he is with a Rogue One Stormtrooper. Scale, really nice. I like it. So the pluses on this, in my opinion, is that robe is my favorite. How well that hood fits. I wish they all like that. They should use this design, this sewing, whatever, you know, assembly, whatever you want to call it. Look at that. That's nice. They should continue this design, this style, for any future Jedis or anybody else that has robes. The weapons are nice. Nice paint on the weapons. I never was much big fan of the removable blade because it made them flimsy. But if, you know, maybe they could add an extra lightsaber handle in the package, but in reality there's nowhere to put it. There's no hole. And then the peg it's kind of big gaudy sometimes. There's a peg here on the actual lightsaber handle, but they could add it maybe just to the one without, you know, the blade on if they wanted to. There's nowhere to stick his blaster. There's no holder for his blaster. And the actual leg articulation is kind of hindered a lot from this plastic piece. It could have made this cloth also. I mean, it went pretty far with the cloth this time. And the other negative would be these joints in the feet. Very tight. I bet that gloss paint has got that joint clogged up. But for the good, on the positive side, these look good. It looks good as a figure. I love the way he stands. I love that cloak. Can't stop talking about it. I love how this arms can go straight down to the side. His legs get close together. It's not spread out. It's good head sculpt. Very nice. These retail for, at Walmart, for example, $12.96, $12.95, whatever they change it to. And Target's about $12.99 if you find them. Hopefully you guys find them in a store. So, you know, paying secondary or third market like eBay or something. Stupid prices. I've only seen one so far, and that is this one at a Walmart. That's the only place I've seen them, and only, like I said, just the one. So, wish you guys happy hunting if you are in the market for this figure. I recommend this figure. It's not perfect, but it's a really good looking figure. Playability, but it looks good. And that cloak, it sold me on the cloak, and the head sculpt looks good. So if you guys look for these, I wish you guys happy hunting. If you like these videos, please subscribe. I'll be doing many more. I do have some other videos up. So, let's see here. I don't have anything else to say, I guess. So thanks for watching, and happy hunting.